11. Masturbation can increase your feelings of self-worth. And for men, regular sessions of self-exploration actually reduce the risk of prostate cancer. Sex might not give you superpowers, but the activity itself has been shown to reduce many risks too. 12. Sex can lower a man's risk of heart disease by 30%, the risk of stroke by 50%, and the risk of developing diabetes by 40%. Studies also show that men who have active sex lives are more likely to live past 80 years of age. If those numbers don't make you feel like bonking way past first base, we don't know what will. 13. Sex toy use is also linked to better health. As many as 1 in 2 people have used them in their lifetime and felt the benefits. They come in all shapes and sizes. They can make you feel good. And it turns out they're pretty good for you too. It seems that in some situations, a little bouncing in the bedroom is just as effective as modern medicine. It shouldn't be surprising. Sex is to thank for humanity going so strong after all these years. Keep that in mind as we take a trip back in time and dip into the history of hooking up. 14. The Roman Empire adored sex. Word on the cobblestone street is, ancient Rome was once home to around 30,000 sex workers, and the city itself had over 40 brothels. We know those Romans loved to conquer, but their fun houses got so popular by 300 AD, they had to remain closed in the afternoon just so people would actually go to work. It also served to give those employed within a much-needed rest. Brothels were big business. The Romans even had special tokens to ease transactions and break down any unwanted language barriers. 15. Sex toys date back 30,000 years. Life wasn't easy for most people back then. And with no factories pumping out perfect playthings like they do today, the people of olden times had to make their toys out of stone. 16. Vibrators actually started out as medical devices. You might have heard of the mass hysteria that seemingly plagued women during the Victorian era. Doctors made a major mistake. Hysteria is a long-defunct condition. But their misdiagnosis led to the invention of one of the world's most popular sex toys. The rest, as they say, is history. But how long has sex been a thing? To answer this question, we have to go way back, long before humans, and even further back than when dinosaurs walked the earth. 17. Scientists believe that the first animal to ever have sex was Phoenicia dorothea, around 570 million years ago. These slimy seducers once lived in what is now Australia, and they made their homes on shallow seabeds. This little worm might be a stand-up guy, but it's still hard to believe that this creature was the very first to ever enjoy the pleasure of sexual intercourse. So we know how sex started out, and we know it has many benefits for us today. Next time you're feeling under the weather, you might start thinking that sex could be your savior. While history's favorite hobby does have plenty of positives, there are some downsides to getting down and dirty. 18. Some sexually transmitted diseases have no warning signs and no symptoms. While you might expect that when getting sick, you'd be the first to know, but some STIs actually keep their presence a secret. This is one of the reasons why regular sexual health tests are a must. 19. Men are more likely to die of a heart attack when they're cheating. Now, when we mentioned earlier that having sex into old age results in a longer life, we forgot to mention that it only counts when it's with your partner. During a study, 75% of men that died of heart attacks during intercourse did so whilst cheating on their spouse. Men dying of heart attacks whilst stepping out on their significant others is so common that it even has its own medical term: sudden coital death. So fellas, remember that cheating is never worth the risk. And now you have the moral of that story, you're ready for our final fact. 20. The scientifically proven best sex comes as a result of both parties being in love. It's wholesome, it's heartwarming, and it seems like a fairy tale ending, but this is real. Studies have shown that love and commitment make the physical act of intercourse more satisfying for everyone involved. Sex might seem like a complicated puzzle that needs solving, but in the end, care, communication, and safety are the only keys you need. Whatever else wonderful that happens in between stays between those lucky people behind locked doors.